Good morning and welcome to Vietnam. Today is actually my second day in Vietnam. I arrived here yesterday morning. However, I had a night flight from Japan, so I didn't do much. I just had a nice walk around the city. I'm staying in the old town. I do not recommend the hostel I'm staying at. The bathroom has a very bad mild smell, but the area around it feels very central. And I'm near a nice little lake, which I will show you later. So today is my first full day in Vietnam. I have very high hopes for this country because everyone I've met that's been here has said they loved it. And unfortunately, it's not started off the best. So my first stop is to where I am now, which is Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum. And you have to pass through security to get in. And the three women that were working there all looked like they wanted to kill you. And they were just shouting at everyone. Not a good experience, and it has kind of impacted my view on not only this place but also the Vietnamese people and how they're going to treat me. But we're here for 3 weeks, so we're not going to let this massively affect our time here. I'm going to try not to. I'm going to give them another chance, not put a whole population down to the actions of 3 people. And yeah, we're going to try and move on. So on that note, let's start again. Now I've had my little run. So today I am doing as much as I can in the city of Hanoi. So I am currently at Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum. Unfortunately, you can't get into the actual mausoleum where the body of Ho Chi Minh has been preserved, or into the museum, because while it does say it's open every day apart from Mondays, it's Tuesday and it's not open. So instead I'm going to walk around the square and the gardens, and then we are going to go up to the pagoda that is on a lake, and then do some more unique and also famous, shall we say, things to do in Hanoi. So I have walked around the square of the mausoleum. If the museum and the mausoleum are not open, I'm honestly not sure it's worth it, because it's a bit of a walk out of where the rest of the stuff in the old city is, and the staff really aren't nice. They're like shouting constantly. They honestly look like they want to kill you. They really do. And they just keep blowing whistles really loudly. But I can't say it's not worth it if the mausoleum and the museum are open, because they weren't when I was there. However, the pagoda, which is over there, was definitely worth it, and it was free, so I would recommend that. And if you're walking here, then you might as well do the mausoleum anyway, but I wouldn't go to the mausoleum just for that. But I would come to the pagoda. Yeah. Not only because it is actually really quite pretty, but also because it's apparently the oldest temple in Hanoi. It's over 1,500 years old. I don't know if that is true, but that is what it said online. And yeah, it was really nice. I didn't speak in there because there's signs everywhere saying to be quiet, but I did film a little bit, and I would recommend. But now I'm going to walk to Train Street. We all know what Train Street is. And we're going to see if I can manage to get a table there. So I have made it to the train street. It was about a 40-minute walk from the pagoda I was at. These are the train times. However, they are different to what I saw online. So just get here when you get here. It is about an hour until the train comes. However, all of the seats on this side, which are the seats that don't have to be moved when the train does come, are filling up quite quickly, whereas the seats on that side, there's still quite a lot of empty ones, but they have to move them in when the train comes. So I just ordered a mango smoothie. You have to order something obviously to sit down, and it is obviously more expensive, but it's a once in a lifetime thing. They are apparently closing this street within the year, so come here quick while you can. But yeah, I'll wait for my smoothie and then we'll see if the train comes. So the train has now passed, and it actually came very close. I didn't expect it to come that close. But yeah, I definitely recommend. But do not try and touch it, because it came very close and was very fast. Yeah, but now we're going to go for a walk in a park and let the adrenaline cool off, shall we say. So I have made it to the park, had a wander around and had some time to process the train and that situation. And honestly, it was a lot bigger than I thought it would be, the train. Not the street. The street was tiny, but the train was a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. And I can see how people get hurt. But if you're careful, I would recommend going, and going now, because you won't have a lot of time, apparently. The government is apparently determined to close it by the end of 2026. Apparently they have said that before. You notice how I keep saying apparently, because how much can you verify in Asia? But yeah, if you have the opportunity, I'd recommend it. Just stay safe, because there were people taking pictures and the staff were like, no, you're going to get hit by a train. Yeah, but no, it was good. I did manage to get, so there's something you can do where you can drink a Hanoi beer and put the bottle cap on the railway line before the train comes, and it flattens it. I don't drink beer, so I had a mango smoothie. The smoothie wasn't actually that good, but as I was leaving, I noticed someone had left their little Hanoi bottle cap. And now it's not perfect, but it's a souvenir nonetheless. So I have got one of them. Yeah, and now I'm at the park. There is actually a huge lake in this park that I did want to walk around. However, you can probably tell it's getting very dark, and I have more time in Hanoi in a few days. I'll be back. I'm like hopping in and out of Hanoi basically. So I'm going to come to the park then and wander around the lake. And for now, I'm going to head back, because the roads are so busy, and everyone knows Vietnam roads. You're basically just walking through traffic constantly, and I don't want to do that in the dark. So I'm going to head back. It's about an hour walk back to where I'm staying. And then yeah, tomorrow we are doing a day trip to Ninh Binh. I'm not sure if I'm going to make that a separate video or include that in this video. We will see. But yeah, that is the plan for tomorrow. Tonight we are done. So see you in the morning. Good morning. I am back in Hanoi. I'm hoping you can hear me, because a thing in Vietnam is they play loud music everywhere. But yeah, so I was here. This is where I flew into to start my trip in Vietnam, and since then I have visited Ha Long Bay and Sapa. And originally I was supposed to be going to Cao Bang this morning. That bus got cancelled. Booked another night bus for tonight, and that one was cancelled yesterday. So I'm taking it as a sign that I'm supposed to stay in Hanoi for a few more days. So today I arrived at 3 o'clock in the morning. The bus got here early. So I have done my washing, and I've just spent a couple of hours in the Vietnamese Women's Museum. Now it costs 40,000 Vietnamese dong to get in, which is about £1.10-ish, maybe just a bit more. And I'd say it was worth it. It includes 4 floors. The first floor is about like their family life, birth, marriage, all of that. Second floor is about women in history. So it was mainly about the women that played significant roles in the army and the revolution. And then the top floor was about women today and their impact. It was mainly about women's fashion on the top floor, but it did have like a little section on women of today, and it was really informative. I did learn a lot about Vietnam and the role women play in it, both in the past and currently. And yeah, for a couple of hours with some relatively cheap activity, it was good. I am a little tired, if you can't tell, but we're powering through because we can't check in until 2. It's currently 20 to 11, so I'm going to go and find a snack, because 5 o'clock breakfast was a long time ago. And then I don't know, let's go find out what there is to do. afternoon. Now it has actually been a couple of days since I last spoke to you. When I last spoke to you, I believe my plan was to rent a scooter and go to the ancient village that is like an hour and a half outside of the city. Unfortunately, the scooter I rented, well, I reserved it. When I went to pick it up, they'd given it away, and the next day same thing happened. So I have basically been trapped in the city, and there wasn't much to do anyway because I'd already spent 3 days here before, because of Tet, the Lunar New Year. Everything was closed. Like, the shops were all closed, most of the restaurants were closed. There was basically nothing to do. So I have just taken like early morning walks before it gets loud and busy, and then like an afternoon walk, just having a look around the city, and then just catching up. And I've actually been editing the Japan vlogs, which if you haven't seen, you should definitely go watch, because I was laughing so much editing them, so they should be good to watch. But yeah, one of the places I found on my walks was this little park. It doesn't even have a name. The church is like a 3-minute walk that way, and then there's just this tiny little park that's really quiet, well, as quiet as you can get in Vietnam, and it's got like a free art gallery. And I've looked around the pictures, and I'll put my favourite ones on the screen now so you can see them. But yeah, I don't know if this is a normal thing to have this gallery here, or if it's like special for the new year or something. But it's been really nice to just come here and get away from the city for a bit. But tonight I am doing one of the popular things to do in Hanoi, and it has been really hard to book, and that is a water puppet show. Now originally I wasn't going to do it because I was like, who wants to go watch a water puppet show? But everyone I've met that's done it has said it's been really good, and there are 2 places to go and watch it in Hanoi that is popular. There's probably more, but there's 2 places that have been recommended. The first one is the longest running water puppet show. It does 365 days a year, multiple showings, and it's done it for years. I will put that one up on the screen now and its location. However, I couldn't book that one because it was sold out the whole time I'm here. So the other one that's really popular is Lotus Water Puppet Show, which opens at 1:30. Depends what times it opens, you have to double check. And I got in there and I bought one of the last 4 tickets for the 4 PM show today. So if you want to see a water puppet show, I would recommend either buying the ticket online, I'll try and link it down below where you can do that, or going a few days before you actually want to go to buy the ticket in person. But from what I've read, buying it online is better because then you don't have to go there first. But yeah, that is in about an hour, so I'm going to go to that, and I really don't know what to expect. But yeah, I thought I'd catch you up on what's been happening, and then we will head there soon. So let's go see what it's like. So then I am at the Lotus Theatre. Here it is. As you can see, the lake is right there, and the other theatre is just the other side of the lake. So they're very close together, and the old quarter is like 2 minutes. So I'm gonna head in, see if I can use the toilet, and then find my seat and show you what the theatre looks like inside. So I have entered the theatre early. I've actually got a really good seat considering I booked it so late. So this is the stage, and then these are the seating. So for the first, for A to G, it's 150,000, and then the back ones are 100,000 each. Yeah, very close and very centered, so I'm happy. And every theatre show, what do you need? Popcorn, of course. So we have got some Korean honey popcorn, and apparently it's like the nice and natural version of caramel popcorn. So we'll give that a go when the show starts. So I am back in the park, as you can see. The show was about 45 minutes and I enjoyed it. There were some people that literally fell asleep, but yeah, I enjoyed it. It was, I'm guessing, like there wasn't any English like programs left, so I got a Spanish one and used the tiny bit of Spanish I knew to translate it. And from what I could tell, it was like Vietnamese folk stories, and yeah, it was good. If you could follow it, it was good. It had like some music to it, and there was some singing, and there was one like scene, I guess you could call it, that had two actors that were speaking Vietnamese. That scene I didn't really understand because they were like chasing ducks, but apart from that, I enjoyed it and I would recommend it. If you were with kids, I would say sit them near the front so they can see what's going on, because if you were at the back you couldn't really see anything and there was a lot of talking at the back, and yeah, maybe they would be entertained by the splashing in the water. But yeah, I did enjoy it. I am glad I went. And that is actually the end of my time in Hanoi. I am about to go and get my stuff and get the night bus to Hue, which will be where the next video is. Overall, I am glad I visited Hanoi. I do think you only need like 3 days though. Yeah, I'd say you only need 3 days max in Hanoi. There is stuff to do, but there's not a lot. But yeah, it's a very busy city. If you like busy cities, you could probably stay here longer. Like, you can do a lot of shopping, obviously. Yeah. But if you don't like busy cities, you do need to find quiet parks like this and just try and get away from time to time, because yeah, it can be a shock, definitely, and it's like constant. But yeah, I would recommend, but you decide how much you like a city to how long you want to stay, because it is busy. But yeah, anyway, enough of me talking. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.